David, talk to me about Chelsea today.
What I expected, to be honest. Lampard's not a good enough manager, and we played badly. We've had bad managers, got bad players, and we played badly. Simple equation. No, we didn't create any chances. To be fair, the goal we conceded is genuinely, that's a contender for goal of the season. That volley's unreal. I'm not even gonna lie. That volley's unreal. It's an unreal volley. It's a good goal. And apart from that, Wolves didn't really create anything. But again, overall the performance was poor, should be better, should be beating Wolves. But that's been the story of the whole season. So I'm not really too fussed. Again, for me, this season's over. Especially now with Lampard. There's no way we're winning any Champions League. Get that out of your head. That's not happening. It's now just about who they appoint next. That's what I care about now. That's it. Lampard's a good enough manager to get me one more point to get to 40, but he's not a good enough manager to win the rest of the games of the season and get us in the Conference League. So for me, he's doing his job, and I don't hate it. I don't hate it. That's it.
I get you there. Do you agree with that, Don?
It was just so amateur today, Terry. Like, why would you go to a back four when we've been so poor all season in the back four? Like, I know Frank Lampard had his job at Everton, probably had to focus on that, right? But he's supposed to be proper Chelsea, right? Surely you'd have been watching our games and you would have known that Cucurella in the back four has been getting cooked all season. If we dare start Cucurella against Rodrigo at the Bernabeu, we are going to get smoked. We are going to get cooked if we play Cucurella at left back. It goes back to the personnel. You can't play three in midfield with no ball winners. You expect Gallagher to be a ball winner, but we've got no physicality in there, Terry. Every single midfielder today is just getting bumped, getting knocked. We've just got nothing in the midfield. So just to go back to basics, play a back five for the rest of the season. Stop persisting with Kai Havertz because he hasn't got the instinct that a natural striker does. When Aubameyang came on, I know Aubameyang isn't the same Aubameyang he was at Arsenal, but you can see the little bits of movement. That's the natural instinct that comes in there when you're a natural striker. Getting in there, getting in the box. There's a little ball that Reece James played over to him. He's not playing balls like that to a player like Havertz. So, yeah, like David said, listen, I didn't expect anything different. This goes back to a lot of the people on Twitter that have been going on about if Frank does this, should he get the job permanently? This guy should be managing in the Championship now. Like, he should. The job he got at Derby was fast-tracked to him because of his name as a player. I love Frank Lampard as a legend of the game and legend of my club, but he's just not good enough as a manager. So today, just showed it. Going to a back four, and we've been absolutely terrible, and we just don't have the personnel to play in a back four. So, yeah, man, I've checked out. I've been out since Southampton. Again, Spurs, I was numb to that game when we lost. When do we ever lose to Tottenham? And when would I ever have a reaction where I just didn't care? So yeah, man, I'm just going through the motions now. I'm just seeing what happens against Madrid, but that's it. I'm just waiting for the next appointment. Hopefully, looking forward to next season.
I hear you on that, and I'm going to go to OG in a minute, but I want to ask Gal this question because for me, I think the Lampard appointment was ridiculous. It was a populist decision to appease the match-going fans. Almost to buy them some time because I don't think they have a plan around the manager they want. And you can tell that by the different profiles they're linked to. What was your reaction and feeling around today's game? Is that just a sign of more things to come, in your opinion, Igal, for Chelsea?
Same old Chelsea. 4 managers this season. Nothing's changed. The exact same team, the exact same style of play, the exact same motions, the exact same issues arise. And Terry, as you said, is Frank Lampard the guy you guys really needed? I always keep going back to Todd Bowley because he's the guy who's making the major decisions. He's the guy who's hiring all these people and firing all these people. So I'm going to say it one more time. Is Frank Lampard the appointment you needed? Is Frank Lampard the short-term appointment you should have got? You just said you got him just to keep you up? So now Chelsea Football Club are hiring former managers just to keep themselves from getting relegated. Is that what you're saying? Because Chelsea 2 years ago under Roman Abramovich, you would have gone and you would have got Hansi Flick or you would have gotten Luis Enrique. You wouldn't care that Nagelsmann wants to wait until the summer. You would have brought somebody else in that's a high level that would have seen you through. You guys, I get it that you want to understand what's going on and you want to just be happy with the situation. A lot of people do, and probably you sold yourself on Frank Lampard in the short term is a good idea. But the reality is your owner doesn't know what the hell he's doing. He's continuously trying to bandage over things and just trying to appease you guys, trying to make you guys happy. That's the reality. And this game, these kind of performances for the remainder of the season is just going to make you guys more upset at your players, at the situation. But today, you just continue to see the same issues. I don't even want to go through it. Kai Havertz, you go through some of the players in the midfield not doing their job at times. And it's just like, you don't need to go through. You don't need to go and analyze this game. You can just watch Chelsea's last 15 home games or 15 away games. This 15 games this season. Same issues. They struggle to score goals. They get good chances, and they don't have any finishers.
Yeah, but Igal, when it comes to Todd Bowley, the reason why we're in this mess is because he left the sacking of Graham Potter too late. If he'd done this in January, or if he did it before the World Cup, got rid of him then, we would have never hired a manager like Frank Lampard. And the reason why they're taking a little bit of time now is because Graham Potter was hired 24 hours after sacking an elite manager in Thomas Tuchel. So they obviously want to make the right appointment. Because Enrique, yeah, he could come in now. He hasn't got a job at the moment. But who's to say that he is the appointment that they want right now? They might want a Nagelsmann. And if Nagelsmann says, I want to start afresh in the summer, there's nothing we can do, unfortunately. So when you hear all the things that have been coming out of the club, they've got nicknames for Graham Potter. Graham Potter apparently asking the players, what do they think of me during training sessions? I've said this multiple times in the streams that we do, like amongst ourselves, right, as Chelsea fans. We are a youth club right now. We're not serious. So Frank Lampard hasn't been hired because of his nouns as a manager. He's literally been hired to remind these players who Chelsea are, hopefully bring some sort of, look, this is Chelsea, this is what we need to do as a club going forward. But in terms of the season, it's done. He's only been brought in to hopefully lift the fans, lift the place a little bit, and that's it. But on the pitch, you're not going to see anything really differently in comparison to that.
You set yourself up.
Yeah, but it's going to get worse, guys. It's going to. You guys think this is going to be 1-0?
I didn't want Frank. I didn't want Frank Lampard.
You know what?
I got someone in already, but clearly
I'm just going to say this. My boy Monster used to come on here and say this stuff like pray for the rivals. At this point, it's pray for Chelsea. Because you guys are going to go through this for the remainder. It's not even a joke. Said it yourself. You're prepared for hurt for the remainder of the season. You're prepared to lose majority of your away games. You're prepared to grind out results and maybe get 1-0s here and there, 0-0s for the rest of the season. That's basically what you're saying. You're not in the rest of the season has been written off. And I really believe you guys, if you're going to write off the season, you should. If you're going to write off the season, you could have at least tried to salvage it by bringing in a quality manager.
I agree with you. I agree with you because ideally, in an ideal world, I would have brought in the manager that's going to take over from next season, right? Because we need to prepare for next season. Ideally, I would have loved that, but unfortunately, this is where we are. I'm not going to panic. I'm not going to scream and shout about it because Frank Lampard is a club legend, and I know he's not being brought here to be a coach. He's just literally being brought here to hopefully sort things out that are going on in the background and hopefully get us to 40 points. But surely we can get at least a draw.
You know what? If you guys do get Nagelsmann and he ends up working out, amazing. But if you guys bring in a Luis Enrique or a Hansi Flick in the summer, it would have been a waste of time this whole time.
This is again for me.
No, but listen, negotiations. We can't just give Enrique what he wants right now. He'd have probably asked for some. I want to be the second most paid manager in the world, and we can't say nothing. We'll be like, here you go. We've got no choice. But at least in summer, we could do this little apprentice. We're doing this little fake apprentice. We're interviewing all these managers. Hopefully, that will help us give someone like a 3-year contract and not this crazy astronomical payouts. Because I don't want to become a club that's just always offering 5-year contracts. Second most paid manager in the world, sacked. Next one, pay him out. By the time we sack 2-3 more managers, FFP would have caught up to us. You know what I'm saying? They're already saying the amount we paid Potter, just add a little bit more. We kind of got Declan Rice. You know what I'm saying? We're paying managers what you do with superstar transfer. So I'll rather take up our time. We're out of everything anyway. Like, what's the worst that can happen? We lose to Real Madrid 8-0 at aggregate. Lampard's done that before. He lost to Bayern Munich. Was it 8-1 or something like that? Like, they can't get any worse.
7-2, I think.
All in aggregate, bro. It was a murdering. It was a murdering. Like, so it can't get any worse. Literally, like. So I'll take this Lampard. I know Lampard's doing it. There's jokes saying Lampard's doing it for free. But he's definitely doing it for some cheap, low cost. He ain't effing us over. He's not going to leave and we have to pay him another 10 million every single year. So it is what it is, man. I'm happy to have Lampard there. And he might do 1 or 2 little things in the back. He's not going to do nothing for us on the pitch. He might do something in the back. Maybe help Kante get a contract. That's one thing I'm hoping for. But on the pitch, it's going to get worse. We're going to get... Only game I see us winning or getting a point in is Nottingham Forest at home. Yeah, I've got tickets to that game. That's the only game I have trust in. People talking about, we're going to beat them in the Emirates. Liverpool. We're gonna F up Arsenal. We're not gonna beat Arsenal in the Emirates, man. That's a pipe dream, fam.
No, I hear you. David, you were going to say something a minute ago, mate.
I was going to say, for me, again, ironically, Gal's the one person who's talking about you have to look in the future and blah, blah, blah. But I think, again, sacking Potter late, I don't think you can apply until you know who the next manager is. Because for me, everything that's going on right now screams it's going to be Nagelsmann. For me, personally, the way that I look at it, I'm looking at the reason why Lampard is here now is because they have to sort out a severance package to get him out of Bayern Munich because he is still technically underpaid from there. If it was going to be Enrique and they really wanted Enrique, regardless of how much you have to pay him, they would just do it now. Because ultimately, it's better, even if you write this season off, it's better for him because he can start installing ideas and blah, blah, blah. I think Nagelsmann is the club's actual target. And if so, it makes perfect sense for Lampard. I'm not actually against Lampard in terms of on the pitch. I don't really care what goes on the pitch anymore because, oh no, if I lose to Man City 3-0, or I lose to Liverpool, I lose to Arsenal, it doesn't really matter anymore because I'm not fighting for a league place or anything. We could have sacked him if we sacked Potter in January and then got in Enrique and then Enrique doesn't work and then Nagelsmann become available, suddenly we're in a position where you argue we probably sacked Potter a bit too early because there would have been a better option in theory later on. It's too again, for me, what you're all doing is that it's too early to know what is going on.
I agree with you, but does your league position or how the remainder of the season goes at all? You don't care at all as fans?
I haven't watched. I think this is the first Chelsea game I've watched live in the past 4, just because I've normally in life I'm busy on Saturday, and then I'll be like, oh, but I'll make time to watch Chelsea. I don't even make time anymore. I'm like,
yeah.
I'll look at my phone. Oh, we're 2-0 down.
There's nothing left. There's literally nothing left.
I carry on my day.
Ian Beale's out here, you know. We got no. Listen, I get that. It's hard to love a team when it. I don't even think it's about the winning. It's about the hope, but that's just my take.